this has been a self-funded project throughout. Um,
Yes.
so, from that perspective, what have been the learnings for both of you?
I don't know. You only tell learnings.
Uh,
Like what? For instance, if I have to go, I mean, think of funding a project like this, what do I have to keep in mind? What do I have to prepare for? What kind of challenges will I face, which you've already done and that you can share as a learning?
yes. Most importantly, have a good bank balance. Let's start with that. I'm being very straightforward. I'm really sorry to say this, but my experience, rather our experience about crowdfunding in India, worst kind. Um, People have asked me on the face, won't you run away with our money? And that's when we thought we are stopping all kinds of crowdfunding. We'll save money. I took to teaching in a women's university, teaching them photojournalism, basic digital photography, earn money, and spent everything on printouts for the tribe and to stay there, stay, food, and everything. I have been taunted, made sarcastic comments upon my work, asked me, why have you gone so far away at the border of Bhutan and West Bengal while you have tribes in Mumbai? The only answer I still have is, and I am by it, I don't have any other answer, which is that tribe is not known even to the state of West Bengal. Forget the rest of the country. So someone has to pitch or do something about it to document, to conserve, to show what the tribe is, their culture, their tradition, and importantly, how they are affected by globalization and modernization. Someone had to do that. Already it's difficultly accessible as most of the tribes are.
Yeah.
So the NGO reach is also very limited. So to bring the Totos on the world map, we took upon this challenge.
The nearest town from Totopada is Madarihat, and coincidentally, my college friend, her in-laws are in Madarihat. So she introduced me, and then we had that connection. Oh, they are staying there in Madarihat, and he is working in Totopada. So they also didn't know about the Totopada. So they were like, oh, this is a something new information for us, that we have been staying there for so many years, we have our business and everything, but we don't know that there is this village called as Totopada and there is this tribe known as Totos. So it's just one example, personal experience which we had.
In terms of sponsorship and timelines, specifically, do you think what you've gone through a lot? After that, do you feel that a sponsor is important from the start, and should one go into a project with a specific time frame in mind?
If you ask for a specific time frame, one will not be able to tell at the front about time frames. But for me, I was since I have that background, of course, I knew that I had to do seasons, and within those seasons, I would be able to complete the project. So that took me about 4.5 to 5 years, each time going there for a month or two, max 2 months, because of finances, and come back and sort the pictures and everything. So the answer is limitless. The answer is limited as well. You can have limitless amount of time, but you will burn out. And this is specifically for the newbies who are starting their first long-term project, personal or commissioned or whatever. So you have to take breaks. Definitely, you have to think something else as well. And within the third visit, at least you should know by what time you're going to finish this off, because it's never going to end, because the tribe is going to stay. Modernization, globalization, other factors affecting the tribe are going to be there. For example, COVID, I am in Oslo, of course, I couldn't go there and document, otherwise it would have been an amazing documentation. But of course I couldn't, for all the safety purposes of myself and of the tribe, importantly. And one should think of all of this. So one, see how much of a bank balance you have, and you have to have a bank balance. see what kind of support system you have, and most importantly, as much as possible, try get a sponsor, so that your cameras, lenses, their servicing, everything is covered. Mine was covered by little bits of crowdfunding that came from some family members at the end, and whatever I earned as a freelancer, because I couldn't take a full-time job because I was doing this project. As I had to go there every year, at least 2 months at a stretch or 1 month at a stretch, and that would have disturbed the entire system. So I couldn't never ever take a full-time job in the past 7-8 years now. So you have to have that bank balance or other freelance opportunities which will help you fill the gap, fill the financial gap, importantly. And in India, people are least bothered, least aware of any crowdfunding that happens. And as far as I am concerned, what I have also observed and experienced is we don't have that kind of a respect or an understanding why documentation is happening, the importance of documentation. And therefore, you might never get good sponsorship or good crowdfunding, except from your families and friends. The financial resource that you would need to finish the project. So the awareness about crowdfunding and the awareness about documentation of such kind of tribe is really weak in India. It's really basic. And it's hard to prove, hard to tell them, hard to explain. And I've experienced that with many. Why are you doing this? How are you going to help them with the book?
Yeah.
Understand this is a social, visual, anthropological book that is documenting their lifestyle, culture, tradition, and the changes due to globalization, modernization, acculturation. They don't have that kind of documentation, one thing in a place. They might have bits and pieces, but not one extensive thing. It's very difficult to convince people about this. So think well before you venture out. Yeah, definitely.
That is some good advice.
This is an amazing experience. Not all is negative,
Yeah.
When you are persistent, when you are patient, when you are at it, focused, you have to do this, you are going to complete. It shows in your body language. It shows in your pictures, videos that you take. I had to protect myself with any kind of skin disease before going to Totopara in the monsoons, because monsoons are really bad and you can catch anything. So I had to visit my skin specialist, and he asked, where are you going and why do you have to come to me to ask how to protect myself in the monsoons? Then I told him about the entire project, and he said, I'm not going to take any money from you. This is my little bit of crowdfunding for you. And he kept doing that for me. He and his wife, he also came and visited one of my solo exhibitions in Thane city. So such kind of help, even some of the relatives came forward and helped me financially, as I said, even during demonetization. That was the time when I was longest period in Totopara for 60 days at a stretch. So yes, at the end, at this stage, I'll say it's cool, it's nice that they are saying we are proud of you and everything. But if I would have got that 7 years ago when I started, it would have given me a different level of platform, a different level of push from parents and the first family. And of course, my sister, she is 12 and a half years younger to me. And since day one, she's always been excited about this. And after that 60-day period in 2016 and 17, when I came back, she ran and hugged me and cried for at least 10 minutes. The moment I entered the house, she was just crying. So yeah, she is also one of the most important part of this project, Ankita. Yes. very well-known documentary photographer who himself has 2 books under his belt, of course. Fawzan Hussain, who completely guided me through the first solo exhibition that happened at Kala Ghoda's David Sassoon Library. And I really thank him. And there's this person called Kritika Behrawala, who who is the first person, I must add, who is the first person from any Indian media, any Indian English vernacular media, who interviewed me in 2016 and published in Midday Tabloid while she was working back then. So thanks to you.
Oh, my pleasure. It was a lovely interview and a lovely story.
Oh,
I was
yes.
really fascinated. Yeah, I was fascinated with the subject from the get-go. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. But then there were backlashes from the internet.
What are the other challenges that you all faced logistically, creatively, across the spectrum?
I don't think so. There were any other challenges because, as I said, my background helped me a lot. I'm pretty sensitive, empathetic, kind. Plus, working with NGOs, everything was just gelling perfectly for this project. I just needed to be there, connect with the indigenous people, tell them why am I doing, what am I doing, and give the pictures back. And right now, it's the book.